man. I'll work for you though.
It's whatever, man. It's just work, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just getting by.
What's up, Luis?
What's up, bro?
I like your shirt, man.
How you doing? You good, bro?
You just hope you're done. Oh man.
Not too good, sir. What's going on, man? Work-related things.
What happened this time?
Well, before I say anything, how's work for you, sir?
You know, it's cool. It's just whatever, man. You know, they kind of overworking me a little bit. I'm a little stressed out, but I'll get through it.
They working me, bro. That's all I gotta say. But it is what it is. What's up with you though?
You know, I could really good hours and like amazing pay, but I still hate it.
Let's talk about it.
Can we speak on some negative supervisors or managers that you have dealt with in the past or you're currently dealing with now, and how you manage them or how you're currently managing it now?
At my previous job, I had this really bad manager. She sucked compared to our old manager. It didn't seem like she knew what she was doing. She sucked at scheduling. She would time our breaks, and it would make me feel like a little kid. But the way that I dealt with it, I mean, I quit. It just kind of led up to me quitting. I worked there for almost 2 years, and I just felt like I was outgrowing it. I started there when I was 19, and I just dealt with so many different managers, and the supervisor was just terrible. And he just didn't know how to talk to people, and that's what I didn't like. And I don't think that you should have to put up with that. It was inhumane, and I quit, you know. But it wasn't because of that, but it was you know, it kind of worked out. Like, yeah, that was kind of like my final thing. What about you, brother?
Mine's current. My supervisor, the guy has no spine. He doesn't stand up for himself, and we're all just looking at him like how in the hell did you get in the spot that you are? Being like so wimpy and all that. And then on top of that, he's doing like our workload, our assignments, scheduling patients, but he's just putting down like, oh, I already called them, I already scheduled them, but you're not. And so now we got the doctors on our behinds, saying like, hey, we're seeing on our schedule that we have people, but the patients aren't aware of that. And so we have to tell them like, I'm sorry, but our supervisor is kind of a dummy. And on top of that, he hardly shows up. He's always like Zoom calling us from his like cabin up in the woods, showing off all the snow.
My man living.
He's living.
My man
It's
living.
nice, but at the same time, it's like, screw you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, and right now, like, he's not a jerk or nothing, but it's just what he does. And there's a squirrel.
But
Kind of like him.
How do you? You're going through it now, but how do you deal with it on your own? Like, how do you, like, just speak on how you cope with it?
How I cope with it? Pretty much just make sure he stays out of my workload. And aside from that...
And if anybody is going through this, this same type of situation, what advice could you give them?
It's in the same situation. I would just... Same thing, like, just make sure your supervisor doesn't interfere with your workspace, your workload, what you're doing. Like, yeah, it sucks that you'd have to have a supervisor that's just messy as mine, but as long as he's not interfering with what you're doing, then other than that, that's what I can do. Or you can just straight up talk to his supervisor and get him fired.
Don't let it affect you personally. Kind of try your best to keep work and your personal life separate.
But don't let yourself get disrespected. If someone starts disrespecting you, that's when you got to stand up for yourself.
Write that down.
On a positive note, what are some good experiences that you've had with supervisors or managers?
Go ahead.
Go first. Well, so I've only had like one job. I've had it for about 2 or 3 years. I can't count. But my supervisor, I'm gonna see this video. But my supervisor, he's been really good. I mean, he's been honestly perfect. I never really had any problems. He's always like motivating me and inspiring me. And I think the biggest thing is like he taught me how to be a good manager. Like just the way he does. He's really good at communication. He's really patient because my job, it takes a lot of teaching and stuff like that. And he's really patient. He communicates good. He makes sure that everybody's taken care of. And I work at my school, so at school, like when you're working at school, they prioritize like putting school first. So he always makes sure that he works with the students to make sure that like everybody's doing good with school, your grades, and one thing he always emphasizes is to make sure that like your mental health and your grades are good before work. So yeah, but I think just the one thing that he taught me is just good, clear communication. That's something I would say. What about you, Darlene?
Well, I've had the same job for about 3 years now as well, and I go through a lot of managers, but one that's really stuck out to me is my store manager. He's just very kind, always flexible with my school schedule, always trying to see where I can improve, always trying to help me level up, which I really appreciate because, you know, every level up is a raise. But yeah, he's just very, there's so many people he has to deal with. Like, there's so many people that work at my job, and for him to be able to still work with me and, you know, help me out, not just with like that job itself, but like giving me advice outside of the job, like with school stuff too. It's really nice. I really appreciate him, and I feel like because of the good management at that store where I work, like that's what's kept me there too.
That's good. I know, like, cause I've been really blessed to have such a good manager, supervisor. But I think like if the manager or supervisor is good, the whole like work department is gonna be good. Like, you know, cause
because they set the standard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like I've noticed that people with poor managers, like bad managers, they dread going to work. They don't like it, and all that stuff. Like
that sucks. That sucks so much when it's not exactly the job itself, but it's the people, like the manager that works there, that makes you not want to.
Exactly.
Which
and,
is
yeah, my bad. And then it like for the most part, from what I've seen, like they bring it back home. And it's like now you're stressing out on your personal life because of like the poor management.
Yeah.
But I think Steven gave good advice. It's just like you gotta know when it's like you gotta know the boundaries. Like when they're disrespecting you, just get up on out.
You gotta say something. Yeah.
But like like at my job, it's the workplace is really good. Like everybody's really happy. Everybody enjoys going to work. Like I actually enjoy going to work. Like I wake up in the morning, like I'm happy to go to work. Because I'm just around.
I'm just kidding.
It's because I'm around good people. So, but I think it definitely starts with the managers. And I learned something in class, human resources. They said like bad management causes like a bad work environment. Yeah. So it starts from there. So that's what I would say. It starts from the management.
Shout out to the good managers.
Yes, sir. How y'all doing today?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good.
We chilling?
Chilling. It's a beautiful day.
It is a beautiful day, man. It really is. And it's February, by the way, y'all. It's supposed to be winter time.
And these are beautiful shirts.
Yeah. Let them know.
Saying.
Let them know. They go hard. They go hard.
Yeah.
If you can find them. Custom made. Handmade.
By yours truly.
Handmade by yours truly.
Sir. Go ahead and head over to 20somethingvision.com/shop. And yes, sir, we're gonna hook it up for you.
Plug. Anyway.
But anyways, y'all, today, let's talk about at least one positive thing that you've probably taken away from your workplace and your whole work experience.
Okay, going first.
Right.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, baby.
I guess I'm going first. Okay, if I had to pick one thing, I would definitely say the professional skills. At work, I communicate and work with like a lot of higher ups, like a lot of supervisors, and like usually I'm the one that's like the least experienced and like the youngest. So I think it's a really cool experience to be able to like work with these professionals. I learn a lot from them. So I think just having the opportunity to work with older people, not older people, but like people older than me and more experienced, that already been through it all. And I think just I learned from them a lot, and yeah, that's the most positive thing I would say. Yeah. Go on, man. Who want to take it?
I would say that working has definitely brought it's brought me more social skills. Like I'm not afraid to talk to people in public anymore. Like I'll just randomly start if someone has a shirt and I like it, I'll go up to them. I think it's because of work. Work forced me to talk to people, especially working with food service. I had to talk to people when I worked the register, so it really opened up my social bubble. It got me out of that like antisocial bubble in public, so it's pretty cool. I just talk to people now.
That's what's up, man. That's really good.
I would say similar to yours, sir. Definitely meeting a lot of new people, especially the job I have now. You're dealing with a lot of people with very extreme political views, and kind of talking with them, you're able to find a middle ground. Find an area like, hey, you believe in this, I believe in this, but we're able to coexist.
It's beautiful, man.
That's good.
Nice.
That's good. I respect that.
For me, I feel like it has to do with what Ray was talking about, just learning more so like leadership skills now and learning like operations of the job. It's really interesting to learn. So being able to actually do that at my job and like work with things that are more so what's the word? They're more like important, I guess, like working with like money and inventory and all that. It's really interesting to me. So I'm glad I've gained those skills as well.
That's good.
Yeah.
So work is a good thing, huh?
No.
Never.
Only on Thursdays, probably.
There it is.
Yeah.
All right.
And boom, we out here.
And we are
Yay.
20.
So Luis, after this whole conversation we had now, you feel any better now?
Honestly, if you had asked me yesterday if it would, I would say no, but I'm feeling a little optimistic right now.
Hey, that's good, man. Love to see
Hey,
it.
man, it's a new day, and don't let anyone step on your vision, all right?
Never.
Thank you.